Okay. Hey, everybody, I'm Aaron from speaking26.com, where I show pharmacists how to get their 26 on TOEFL speaking by showing how I got 30 on TOEFL speaking. And today we are attacking question number 1. Lisa, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone who are watching and listening. My name is Lisa Grankemeyer. I'm from Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and English is my second language. I migrated to the States and I am a foreign pharmacist. So in order for me to pursue my career, I have to complete the FPGEC, which is the TOEFL IBT, and I need to get 26 in speaking. And it's very hard to reach that goal because the NABP is so advanced. So they want the foreign pharmacists to complete and comply with that requirements. And here I am to learn and improve myself.
Nice. And you definitely are improving. We're going to do more of that right now with question number 1. Okay, so Lisa, let's get a timer. If you can give me 15 seconds to prepare, I will think out loud and share with people how I use my 15 seconds to prepare. People say that 15 seconds, it's not enough time to think of good ideas, so I will help with that by thinking aloud.
Yes.
Okay, so the choice here, question number 1, will printed materials one day be replaced by electronic devices? Okay, let me know when you start. 15 seconds for me.
15 seconds starts now.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I do believe that that's going to happen. Just like other old things were one day replaced when they first came out, people didn't think they were going to be replaced. Eventually it happens. It takes generations, new people being born,
Stop.
old people dying. Okay.
You may begin to speak in 45 seconds. Speak.
Go. Okay. Yes, one day materials printed on paper will be replaced by electronic devices. I know this is true because just like when something like the first pens came out, I'm sure that people who were very comfortable sticking their feathers and dipping it in ink thought there would never be a world where we wouldn't use feathers dipped in ink. Pens would never replace that. It happens over time. When new people are born and older generations die off, things that used to be considered new technology are considered standard. For example, today, materials printed on paper like books are no longer read by children. They consider it normal, or not as widely read by children. They consider it normal to read from tablets and iPads. This is how I know that new technology will replace
time.
Lisa, what's one thing you can immediately take from my answer to improve your answers to question number 1?
It's the rate of your answer. I mean, the tone of your voice is also more concise and authentic, original, and also you gave the idea, like your reason plus your example, which is I really like you started off with saying the printed paper and then you go with the ink, so you just you elaborate, explain it more, plus with the example, which is I really like.
Okay, good. So when I asked you, I wrote down, when I asked you what can you immediately take from my answer to improve your answers, you said rate, tone, and then authentic, original. Which one of those helps you the most? Which one do you want to focus on right now? Rate, speaking rate, my tone, my delivery, or authentic, original?
Rate.
Speaking rate, okay?
Speaking rate, yes.
Okay, so let's talk to each other. How can you have a higher speaking rate like I just did?
How to involve myself to speak to native speaker, and to just practice, so that one of these days my my fluency, my speaking rate will be improved, because as English is my second language, so it's not natural for me to speak faster like you guys, so I need to improve that.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the things we're going to do today to continue to improve on that, and it does take time, one of the things we'll do today to work on it will be the mini debate that we have. Okay,
Okay.
so this will
Okay.
put you in a position to speak aggressively with a higher speaking rate and a more assertive tone. Okay, and I wrote that down.
Okay.
We're going to talk more about that, ways to improve your speaking rate during these questions.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm going to give you 15 seconds to prepare for your answer.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Lisa. Will materials printed on paper one day be replaced by electronic devices? You have 15 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
Printed paper will be absolutely replaced by electronic versions, because the first one is that there will, due to the advanced technology, the printed paper will be obsolete. The new generations right now, they prefer to read the app like Kindle or other reading materials that are in the app. It's more accessible to them, and whenever they go, they can read anytime they want. Another reason is that there's a lot of youth right now that supports the environment. They want to have an eco-friendly environment. So by eradicating or not using the printed paper will save the environment, and that's why I believe that the electronic
Time.
version.
All right, very nice. Some things that I specifically liked about your answer was the use of the words obsolete and eradicated. You said them very naturally. They fit perfectly into your sentences, into your ideas. Great job there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like your transition from advanced technology to new generations, and then you transitioned from new generations to eco-friendly. Smoothly, very good. Okay, that was an incredibly good answer. How do you feel about your answer? What do you want to continue to do well on? What do you want to improve on?
I want to improve on, as I said earlier, my speaking rate. But with that being said, the anxiety that I keep saying, so I want to beat that, and
Okay.
I'm reaching to that point that it's already, past that. I already passed that point that I'm not nervous, but then
Good.
it affects how I speak. When I'm nervous, I think everyone knows if a person is nervous, it affects how they speak. So I want to improve that, and so that my thought process is smooth and my speaking rate is smooth. So that's what I want to improve, and that's what I've learned today by speaking to you and going live. It's
good. All right,
helpful.
so I'm going to speak to Lisa and to the world right now, to all of the viewers. I am 100% certain that Lisa is going to pass, that she's going to
Thank
get
you.
at least a 26 on the TOEFL speaking section. So I'm saying that to Lisa, and I'm putting it out there on my YouTube channel, Facebook group, Twitter, and the other future places where this video goes. We're going to look back on this, and Lisa having the courage to say that it makes her nervous. She has a little bit of anxiety. That's the part she wants to improve on. We're going to look back on this when she passes. And this, what you just said, Lisa, is going to help other people that feel nervous, because I know you're going to pass. You have the skill levels, everything to do it. So somebody like Lisa, who I'm certain is going to pass, still feels that anxiety. So it's very natural, but I want you to know that, and I want everybody to know that I have complete confidence in you, that you're going to do it. So by having these live stream classes, by reviewing your speaking afterwards, the more we do it week in and week out, you're going to feel more comfortable with everything.
Which is which is really good. I really think that having it or knowing that somebody is watching me, like in the real test, it's like a simulator.
Yes,
So
simulator,
having
yes.
this live, yes, simulator, having this live stream, it will simulate the actual exam. So which is
Yes. Yeah, that's why we do it. You're going to see yourself improving. It's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I told you, I gave you feedback. Do you want to ask me or say anything about your answer to this question number one? Um, I, the part that you said you want to focus on is your speaking rate. So you've talked about,
Yes.
it's natural. Everybody feels a little nervous during the speaking section of the test.
Mhm.
This is why I like
Mhm.
specializing on this section of the test. And then when we're
Mhm.
nervous, it of course affects our speaking a little bit. So you want to
Mhm.
improve on being smoother. You know that by
Yes.
having people watch you during the live streams, that's going to help you help you get used to, more comfortable with the pressure of the test.
Exactly.
Lisa,
Yes.
how else
Mhm.
can we improve your nervousness and speaking rate?
By being consistent
By
too.
being consistent.
Yes. Yes.
Do you mean studying multiple times in a week? What do you mean being
Um,
consistent?
being consistent of what I'm learning right now, it has to be the same, maybe tomorrow or next day, and then just apply what I've learning right now. So that the consistency will be there. So that
Yes.
yes, so that I think I will improve more if what I'm learning right now I'm gonna apply it tomorrow. Because if not, if I don't do it, then I'll forget about it. So
Okay.
it's just wash away my head.
So consistent. Okay, good.
Yes.
And what's the number one thing you want to remember to apply tomorrow when you're
Mhm.
practicing by yourself?
Well, I want to remember that just giving the idea plus the example and apply this consistent review, that
Okay.
your advice, and
Okay.
that's what I want to remember. Yeah.
Good. Record your answers, record yourself,
Yes.
and do each
Yeah.
question at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, great. Now, unless you have any other comments or questions, we'll
Yeah.
jump into the second part of our class.
Okay.
So to improve our brainstorming, to feel
Yes.
more comfortable speaking quickly, coming up with ideas, we only have 15 seconds. Let's have a mini debate. And I'm going to ask Lisa to debate the other side. So her preference, her choice was yes, printed materials will one day be replaced by electronic devices. I'm going to ask Lisa to now argue the other side that is
Mm-hmm.
not her natural choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Lisa, let's take 15 seconds to prepare, both of us. And you are taking the viewpoint that no, electronic devices will never replace printed materials such
Mm-hmm.
as books and newspapers. Okay, time. Would you like to go first or would you like me to go first?
I'd like to go first.
Okay, right before you go first, a reminder to the viewers, Lisa, the little disclaimer, Lisa and I do not necessarily feel one way or the other about what we're
Yes.
about to do. This is
Yes.
simply for speaking practices. Okay,
Yes.
ready? Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. You gonna time?
No timer. This is just
Okay.
instead of a
Okay.
timer,
Okay.
instead of a
Oh,
timer,
okay.
okay,
All
instead of a
right.
timer,
I
what
got
I'm
it.
going to do is when you're speaking, I'm going to jump in. Like I'm going to give you some time to speak, but then I'm going to jump in and debate you on something you say,
Ah.
and then
Okay.
you jump in and counter argue me.
Okay.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead and begin whenever you're ready.
Printed paper will definitely not be replaced by electronic versions, because I myself, I like to read books. I like to touch the paper. I like to be connected to what I'm reading at. Whereas the electronic books, it's so boring when you touch the screen and you browse it and you get lost. So the concentration of reading a book, it's no longer there. So I
Okay,
think
let me
printed
take.
paper is better.
Okay, Lisa, I heard you say, so you see how I jumped in after a little bit here? You do that
Yes.
whenever you want to attack something that I'm saying. Okay,
Okay.
feel welcome to interrupt me. Okay, Lisa, I heard you say that one of the reasons why you think that printed materials are not going to be replaced is because you like books. You like to touch, you like the feel of paper,
Mhm.
turning the pages. You said feeling connected with it. You know, I'm sure that when the first cars came out, people said, well, yeah, my family will have a car, but I'm always going to like riding a horse. I'm always going to like feeling connected to animals and, you know, patting my horse and having that human to animal connection. You know, cars are great for long distance, but I'm sure people thought they would still use their horse for short distance travels.
Mhm. Yeah, I could agree with that. It's because of the transition from, from 18 years or 20 years or 50 years from now. And I still believe that there are a lot of people out there like myself that would like to be connected to what they're reading at. For instance, newspapers. A lot of folks right now, the old people, they still want to read that because there are a lot of interesting events or readings in the newspaper. Like there are more authentic, whereas in the computer or in electronic books or in Facebook or whatsoever, you don't know that they are true, they are authentic. So I think reading, like old people, they really like to read newspaper because it's original.
Okay, I heard you say authentic. So you're saying you think that printed materials such as newspapers for the older generations are still a desired source because they are an authentic source of information.
Absolutely, because there are a lot of editors before they publish this. There are a lot of editors that go through these pages and make sure that whatever printed in there is true.
Okay. Okay, so let's say somebody's reading the Washington Post newspaper or the New York Times newspaper. Those newspaper companies have .coms. So couldn't those older generations get that authentic information from their phone?
They could, but there is a limitation. Let's say there's a electricity meltdown or or a blackout. So how are they supposed to read if they rely on their www.com? Whereas if you have a newspaper, then regardless of any weather or brown out, then you can still read.
All right, nice, nice. I can't argue with that. Very good. Tell me, so you know why we did this for
Yes.
brainstorming and
Yes.
for to improve our speaking rate, we need to
Yes.
improve the ideas of things that we can speak about. So
Yes.
tell me, while this speaking practice is fresh in your mind, did this help you? What did you take from this?
Yes, it's helping me a lot because it helped me think faster. And once I'm thinking faster, then I can tell you what I'm thinking about. So while helping my brain to think, then it's gonna help me, speak faster or my rate of speaking.
Awesome. Very cool, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's why we do it. So let's look to end this live stream here, and then you and I will
Okay.
continue. All right.
Okay.